So I'm getting more and more questions about how to best position your house to sell. More homes coming on the market. In fact, just last week they said that over 50% of the homes that closed in Kootenai County closed after over 60 days on the market. And so positioning your house to sell is extremely important. And we talk about a lot that price matters. So no doubt price matters. But right now, I'm doing a ton of showings with buyers going from home to home. And I'll tell you a few things that set your home apart regardless of what price range you're in. You want to be competitive when it comes to this. So first things first impressions matter. When you get ready to prepare your home for the photos, it's going to be crucial that you get everything lined up from the beginning. Once those photos hit the internet, there you are. That's what you've got. So a few things that you can do. We're just over at a listing today preparing it for showings, and it's depersonalization, declutter, and one of the things that I tell people, okay, now you got to remember that you got to still live in the home, right? One of the best tips that I share with people is things like counters, whether it's kitchen, bathroom, you want it to look like a hotel. Now, what's that mean? Well, when you go into a hotel, you don't see a bunch of stuff on the counter, right? Maybe just one, two things. So having a towel or a nice washcloth or something in the bathroom is good. Soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, an extra roll of toilet paper, all that stuff needs to come off and be gone. Now, things like a little basket, a little plastic basket for stuff that you commonly use. Maybe you, especially if you've got a household full of people in the kitchen, you might have some dish soap and some other knick-knack paddywhacks on the counter all the time. So what you do, plastic container, and right before a showing, especially before photos, but right before a showing, pack them up, throw them under the countertop, or throw them into the laundry room, right, or into a cabinet somewhere. So that's crucial. When you're doing photos and when you're preparing your home for sale, you're going to be packing up, right? So if you've got a bunch of photos, I always joke, if your hallway is lined with photos of the grandkids playing t-ball, or you've got all the cuddly photos of your wedding, those need to come down. You're going to pack them up anyways. You're selling your house. You're going to be moving on to wherever it is that you're going. You need to pack that stuff up and put it away. It's nice when you have a blank wall to have one picture, but have it be something neutral. Maybe a picture of nature or a lake, but all the personal photos, no one wants to see your family. They want to envision their family photos sitting there. So gotta depersonalize. Politics and religion, right? I don't care what your politics are, and I don't care what your religion are, but if you do have stuff like that in your house, there's a potential that you offend someone, and at the end of the day, it's your house to sell. But if you want that buyer pool to be as big as possible, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, really doesn't matter, but if you've got something that says one thing about one party, you are going to make a smaller buyer pool. So take all the stuff about politics and religion and put those in the boxes and pack that up. And declutter. So we want to have homes staged. This is important. When you walk into an empty house, it's really hard for you to feel as though maybe your bed would fit, or a couch, or whatever. So we don't necessarily want to get rid of everything. An empty house is the opposite. But if you walk into a living room, this morning was a great example. There was 2 couches, there was 2 recliners, there was a coffee table, there was 3 end tables, there was speakers for the radio. I mean, you had to kind of almost turn sideways to walk through the house, right? And we wanted to eliminate that. We took 2 recliners out, 2 of the end tables out. We minimized it to 2 couches. We took the speakers out, coffee table, one end table for a nice lamp. Okay, same thing in your bedrooms. It's good to have a bed in there. If you've got to where you've got to turn sideways and move around furniture, that's too much. You need to depersonalize or declutter that, because people do want to be able to envision things in there, but it's very hard when there's so much stuff. And I will tell you this about North Idaho. We have a lot of people around here that like to do hunting. This one's really kind of tough in some instances, but if you've got mounts of deer, elk, moose, bobcats, not everybody likes that. And again, you're going to shrink your buyer pool. I have seen it plenty of times where I've taken a buyer into a house, and they see they're beautiful mounts, but that buyer doesn't care for them, and that will change their mindset in a heartbeat. So these are just a few tips of how to get your home ready and strategize to put your house in the best position to sell. If you want some more tips, don't hesitate to reach out. I've got a great sheet that I can send along to you that gives even more tips, like making sure all the light bulbs match and things like that. Because it is crucial at the end of the day. This is psychological warfare. Just like when you go down to Vegas or any casino, you don't see clocks, right? There's things that you can do to best position your house that will best position in the market. And if you've got buyers that are looking at 3 or 4 houses for the day, they might remember yours for the wrong reason. Got more questions? Hit me up. BK knows the way.